Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. Now, I don't know how many of you watched Question Time last night. I'll be honest, put my hands up, I did not. It's only this morning when I heard about what happened, I went back and I sort of watched some clips on YouTube. But apparently, if you don't know, Stephen Flynn was on there and he was up to his own ears in his own self-importance and his own entitlement. Every question that came, he had to interrupt the women. He had to speak. It was the Stephen Flynn show. Beryl was full of himself. He wouldn't take the hint to STFU at all. And when women were speaking, he'd interrupt them, or he wouldn't give way if they wanted to make a point or anything. It was all me, as far as Beryl was concerned. It goes to show two things. One, he really is up his own arse. And two, he has a very low opinion of women. Very misogynistic, isn't it? Ladies, thank you for coming, but the man is here now. Be quiet. Come, listen to the wisdom of the man. The man is speaking. I mean, what is this? The 1930s? Come on, Beryl, pick it up. We'll have a quick look at this, because I do think he needs to be ridiculed, because the fact is that even though he was dominating everything with what he was saying was complete rubbish. And he got told off by Fiona Bruce, which I must admit is something I've always wanted to have. Anyway, here goes. Stephen Flynn endures car crash BBC Question Time appearance as he's warned, let women speak. He doesn't want that. He doesn't want to hear what the women have to say. It's all about what Stephen Flynn has to say. We all have to sit there and listen to the wise one as the wise one sits there and pours out unmitigated tripe. The SNP's Westminster leader was told he sounded ridiculous when he defended the revolving door of First Ministers at Holyrood and claimed housing policy at Holyrood had been a success. The day after, an emergency was declared. Man is full of it, isn't he? Does he actually pay attention to the world around him? Or is it all Flynn world? God, you wouldn't pay money to enter that place, would you? Stephen Flynn endured a brutal TV Question Time on Thursday night as he struggled to defend the SNP's record in government. No one can defend it. It's been truly awful. The Nats Westminster leader was warned to stop interrupting people by Chair Fiona Bruce as his party's hypocrisy was laid bare to the Aberdeen audience. Ah dear. At one point he was told he was being ridiculous when trying to defend the revolving door of SNP First Ministers at Holyrood, and was told to be more respectful to the only woman on the panel. He also claimed the SNP had a good record on housing. Well, she might be the only woman on the panel, Meghan. But there was an awful lot of old women on that panel, if you get my drift. But no, Meghan was good. Meghan, like I say, I watched the clips of it. Meghan was fine today. And she is on the side of angels. She does protect. I do kind of got a soft spot for her. I think she's, as a politician, I think she's on the right side. And I don't mean she's on the right. I mean, she's a decent politician is what I mean. Just randomly, she's on the right anyway. He looked crestfallen. He hasn't got a crest. How can he look crestfallen? There's no crest. He looked crestfallen as Scottish Conservative Deputy Leader Meghan Gallagher, told him to let her finish a point. She had started a segment by saying that the Tories would always stand up for the North Sea oil and gas. Now, that's a wise thing to say when you are in Aberdeen. I mean, it doesn't take a genius, does it? But he interrupted to say that they had increased taxation on the industry. Bruce warned him to let her speak, while Gallagher responded, hold on, Stephen, I'm the only woman on the panel. Please let me have a little bit more time to allow me to expand my argument in terms of what the UK Conservative Party would do. Now, the fact that she's the only woman shouldn't extend any political extension, but in his mind, she was not just the only woman on the panel. She was just a woman. That's why you kept speaking over her, patronising. What a complete twonk. Anyway, he'd earlier been asked by a young member of the audience if it was hypocritical of him to criticise Labour's stance on oil and gas when his party was in violation with the Scottish Greens, who want the industry shut down until a few weeks ago. He claimed it shouldn't come as a surprise that he was quite happy that the Butte House agreement had ended. Well, that's a load of rubbish. He was praising it. Boyce pointed out he wasn't saying that publicly when the coalition existed, and he said he was one of the few folk that had and was criticised. He did not. He was asked before. I actually remember him being asked. He said no, it would strengthen the Parliament. What a lying two-faced toad, either then or now, or both. Honestly, if you asked him, he'd say, look at my full head of hair. Look at my big crest that's fallen. Broadcaster Ian Smart also delivered a brutal rebuke when Flynn, who should have been comfortable on home territory in the city where he's an MP, tried to defend the fact that Scotland had seen 3 First Ministers in 13 months, 2 of whom were effectively selected solely by SNP members. He defended the system, saying MSPs vote for the First Minister, and arguing that that's the difference between Westminster system and the devolved governments. Bruce suggested he supported a revolving door at Holyrood, while Smart also interjected to ask him, do you know how ridiculous that sounds? The trouble is he probably doesn't, because in his mind, he is literally the wisest man in the room at all times. An uneducated fool who's never had a day job, never really worked, has he? Not too bright. He sits down in Westminster and he gets handed it every day. Every time he stands up at question time, they're going, hey up, here he comes. Let's have a bit of fun. You know, and then he stands up and he says whatever stupid question of the day is. And then they respond and say, no, thank you, Stephen. Not good enough. Go away. Bye-bye. And so he does. Silly, silly man. Anyway, we'll finish there. I'll round off and we'll come up and we'll finish the video. Flynn is an idiot. He's not the biggest idiot, let's be honest. He's not the biggest idiot in the party, but he has got a habit of opening his mouth and saying really stupid things. He doesn't understand what he says. He forgets the lies he tells, and that's the biggest sin of all when you're a politician. If you're going to lie consistently. But he doesn't. He invents things, says things, and then expects us everyone, oh, I've forgotten that he said the other thing the other day. No, I haven't. I've got a good memory. Also, there's records of it. Flynn, if you're going to lie, write down your lies and then try and stick them in there. Nail it. Anyway, there we go. Obnoxious, misogynistic, gobshite Stephen Flynn. Bad question time for him. I don't think he's won any friends in Aberdeen, and I don't think he's going to get voted in. His is one of those seats that's likely to go whoosh come the general election. So then he'll have to make a beeline for Holyrood and hope that somebody will let him in. Assuming anyone gets in at Holyrood next time as well. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Stay safe, stay well. I will speak to you later. Bye.